Welcome back to One More Day. I got a story for you today about a gentleman who wants to open up a little bit, and he actually has some regrets. He's in his mid-20s, his birthday's next week. This was posted 1 day ago. He regrets not making friends, his lack of relationships, and just struggling with things like anxiety. He does touch on depression a little bit as well, and how he's trying to better himself and making progress. So I'm looking forward to sharing this. I think this can have some great takeaways. You can just place your phone down and listen in, or you can watch the visuals that I'm going to edit in so you can really grasp the magnitude of the story. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. It's titled, I feel this regret that I haven't enjoyed my life in my 20s so far. I'm 24 male, turning 25 next week, and not feeling the best about myself. So my birthday is next week, and I'm about to turn 25. I'm doing much better with myself than in recent years. I got my first job back in July of this year. I'm also back in college after 4 years of not being in school. I've been through depression, social anxiety, and OCD. It's been a real struggle over the past few years, but I got the help I needed with my OCD. And OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, I'm doing better to the point that I'm able to get my first job this year and enroll back in college for this fall semester. I'm very happy about where I'm going with life, but I still feel this regret wasting my years so far in my early 20s. Now that I'm entering my mid to late 20s, I feel this huge regret out of not going out, dating, having a social life, all because of my anxiety, and also not putting my effort or putting myself out there. Ooh, so that's a big point. That's a big point, right? Just sometimes you just have to be willing to put yourself out there and, get rejected or have stuff not go right, because so that way you can learn from that experience and then correct your behavior, correct your actions, right? We're never perfect or the best at when we do something right for the very first time. It just takes rinsing and repeating, growing a little bit of thicker skin, and be willing to give it another try. And so I'm really glad that he's self-aware about that. And it's so important that we don't take everything super personal. Continuing, he said, when I go to the mall, I see people way younger than I am, and it makes me feel, man, why I didn't have friends or girlfriends, referring to my teen years, where I was a really shy guy because of being special ed. I always felt self-conscious about myself. Okay, so I'm going to touch on that. I skimmed through this, and he doesn't specifically say what condition he was labeled special ed for. I assume he's referring to the OCD. And I kind of want to bring up something that, if any of you know who Les Brown is, worldwide known motivational speaker. He's in his 70s now, and he's doing amazing. But he was born on an abandoned building on a floor with his twin brother. So he had this moment where he went to school and he had to go into a different teacher's office to get something. The teacher asked him if he could write something on the board for him, and he said, "I'm sorry, sir, I can't do that." And the teacher said, "Why not?" And this isn't his teacher, right? He just needed to go in there to get something. The teacher said, "Why not?" And then Les Brown said, "Because, sir, I'm educable mentally retarded." And the teacher placed his stuff down and looked at him and said, "Don't ever say that again. Somebody's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." And even with that labeling, he said when that man looked him in the eye and said that to him, everything changed. The way he framed and looked at the world, every single thing changed for him. And this is someone who is labeled that a special education student. And so one thing I want us to look at, and I understand people do have conditions, but I want us to start focusing on our abilities and not our disabilities. If we can just have that mental strength, that mental toughness to say, there's value here, and I'm willing to shine the spotlight on that rather than where I see this darkness in myself, and we just try and change that frame with the control we do have, I promise you things will get amazing. And Les Brown became, extremely, extremely successful. Someone who was labeled educable mentally retarded. He's extremely successful till this day. If you look him up on YouTube, there's videos that he didn't even make, that people make of him. And it's literally endless. So I just wanted to highlight that regarding that this gentleman brought up. And I want us to always focus on our abilities. With that being said, I'll go ahead and continue. He said, this guy he's writing a whole story, and he has skills. I know he does. But anyway, continuing. Seeing groups of people having fun kind of makes me feel down and sad. And I have no dating experience at all now that I'm reaching 25 in a week from now. The regrets of not doing anything. I missed experiences like going to senior prom because I had no friends at all, and I thought I would be the odd man there with nobody to talk to. And just general experience of doing things in my teen/early 20s. In my job, I try to have fun when interacting with customers, and many laugh and they seem to enjoy having combos with me. So I know I have potential, but I barely have social skills, and to approach people to a convo, I always get stuck in my head because I don't know what to say, and I always have the regret thing in my mind. I know I have to invest in myself, love me for me, and invest in new hobbies. I'm starting bachata class, and I'm trying my best to get myself out there. I know this is long, but thank you for reading. I want to go ahead and touch on a couple things, and some people left some very positive comments for him to just keep on it. And I'll go ahead and I'll read one of those comments to really highlight what they said. And so, Fallen Butterfly Tears says, it's okay to mourn the loss of possible opportunities, but we can only move forward. Yesterday is only wasted if we didn't learn anything from it. You have learned, and he made a couple bullet points. He said, 1, making friends isn't easy and doesn't happen without effort on your part. He said, 2, that you want more out of life, thus going back to school and getting your first job. 3, you learned that time marches only forward, never backward. 4, that personal growth takes work, hard work, but you can do it. 5, you learn to seek out what it is that you want, need, and dream about. And so much more. Keep moving forward, learn from yesterday, and never give up. Oh, isn't that the basis of this channel? This man captured it perfectly. Fallen Butterfly, shout out to you. And that has 6 upvotes. Nice. With that being said, yesterday, they said, the best time to start something was yesterday. The second best time is right now, right? So again, we never fail. We only learn. And I just want you to remember how strong your thinking is, your perspective. Okay, so to give an example, let's say something really, really bad happens to somebody, right? It can be medically, it can be injury-wise, something tragic. One thing that's very positive, if with that person, when they take that kind of perspective, like a positive perspective towards something traumatic, sometimes they'll open up a fund or some kind of charity or some kind of way to raise awareness about this issue that indirectly saves somebody or causes somebody to be more cautious, causes somebody to take a self-defense class, whatever that is, this person that the tragic thing happened to could have just felt sorry for themselves, and they have every right to. Or they can take a different perspective and say, wow, this was so bad that happened to me. I need to let others know that this is something that can happen, and I don't want it to happen to you. And they took that perspective, and that is a positive outcome to something that was tragic. And so your perspective is literally everything, and I never want you to forget that. And trust me, I know I run a fitness business. Gyms were shut down. They gave us no solution, and changed my perspective in order to stay in business and keep giving my clients those results. And that was one of the worst times for fitness professionals, if you ask any. So it's all about perspective. You can literally overcome anything, just about anything, if your mind is in the right place. So don't forget to give yourself more credit. And if you do, I promise you, you will be in 1000% control of your life. Especially if you live in the Western world, you live in a first world country, you have so much more here that allow that to come into fruition. So this is one more day. Thank you for stopping by, and I cannot wait for the next story. With that being said, like the video, comment. I'll see you on the next one.
I got Coach Kern.
Coach
Kern, bring it, Coach.
Hey,
Coach Kim.
Can you hear me?
Is it Coach? Yeah, Coach Kim. How many? No?
Yeah,
That's it.
that's me. So now I'm a business owner. I've done every fitness professional's dream to go independent. I have done it. Every day at 2:30 p.m. to 5, I prospect. That is all I do, prospect. No one interrupts me, no women, no homies, no friends. I don't care. You're cool, I'll call you after 5. I do not care.
Who's your favorite uncle, man? Who's your favorite uncle, brother?
All right.